All right. So let's do an itty bitty recap, shall we? Of everything that's been going on. So you all have been invited behind the wall to the settlement of the Order of the Horn. There you have met the seer. I don't know if did anyone ever ask the name seer, or I always have to ask that because players do not care about names, which is what I've learned. And I'm okay with that.
Certain characters don't care.
His name is the Seer.
We didn't ask, but he definitely told us the great seer's name.
Seer Iwa.
We didn't ask for this old idiot's name though. If you're referring to the guy we spoke to, no, we didn't.
Didn't ask for his name.
He introduced himself immediately.
Yeah, Seer Iwa.
So why would I ask his name when he's told me his name?
True. So the seer has invited you into his home upon the plantation of the cataploss. The cataploss that they are raising, they have breeded the stench glands removal from. He's invited you. He gave you some steaks, and expressed his troubling issue that he's currently having. He was mostly interested in whoever he believed casted a charm spell upon his guards, considering that all of his guards have a sort of like a charm resistance and an intellect fortress placed upon them so that they may safely guard the settlement for the Order of the Horn. And the seer was greatly interested in the individual who broke through that barrier, which Bora absolutely did. So the seer goes on and on after a lovely, well, not lovely. I mean, he killed a man right in front of you guys. No one seemed to care. Kind of looked at you guys, was waiting for like a bit of a shock, like, oh no, but no one really cared because this is the Hellscape. You see people die every day. Explaining that his settlement here in the Order of the Horn is built on tradition. Upon a war between his people and the Memoraths that used to be here, where the Minotaur have won, essentially, that allowing him and his clan to dominate over the oppressed, which would be in this case the Memorath. He's expressed to you that he's facing a bit of a dilemma. Specifically, the society is built upon servitude, which is one of his greatest strengths, but it has now currently been an exploitive weakness, as individuals who are meant to be sacrificed to the Order of the Horn so that the food may continue to grow have begun to retreat, living in the village of the cowards, or from the camp town of the cowards that is outside the walls. He essentially requested you all to go out there and kill them all. To kill all the people, the cowards that are currently out there. Commence the ritual of the blood so that the land may once again be enriched by the victory of those that have been slain by the mighty Minotaur. And it wasn't until the Memorath brothers suggested, because he is not the lead, he's sort of like one of like the co-leaders of the settlement, and that the Grand Seer themselves are currently locked away in the Obsidian Spire, conspiring with who he refers to as the Azure Astari, who apparently has some sort of influence over the Black Star. So, and with him locked away in the Obsidian Spire, the Seer wishes to take charge and essentially sending you guys out, doing essentially a massacre outside the walls. It wasn't until the Memorath brothers suggested, well, why don't you just kill the Grand Seer? Which seemed preposterous to the Seer at the time. But after more thought, figured that this might have been actually a good way to go about it if you all are actually successful. Which I'm sure you all realize that the Seer looks at this as a win-win situation. You either die within the obsidian obelisk itself, where it can't be brought back to him because invaders have broken through, or you actually are fortunate enough to kill the Grand Seer, allowing him to become Grand Seer. He's promised you all the ranking of Seers so that you may rule alongside with him at the settlement of the Order of the Horn. You all have requested armaments so that you may be able to move forward through the obsidian obelisk with a little bit more ease of whatever may be inside. Secretly, correct me if I'm wrong, because, lots of double crossing happening here. Deborah, and the rest of you wish to hopefully gain an audience with the Grand Seer, allowing you to explain that the Seer is attempting to betray him. Essentially, you're turning everyone against each other, and whoever emerges on top, if I am mistaken, please correct me. Whoever emerges on top, you all kill, thus becoming the lords of this land, of this settlement. That is enriched with the blood of the servants.
Turn everybody against each other's, and then when they're not looking, we actually win. GG.
Yes.
Aren't we also going to try to open the gate so we could let the Order of the Memory people come in and go ham too?
Yeah, there was a couple of side things you wanted to do. Hopefully,
and then we walked inside and we realized there was two 30-foot minos that were actually opening the gate, so it's probably not feasible.
Mm-hmm.
But hey,
there are giant minotaurs that have the gate. Although that wasn't really brought up during the end of that conversation that you guys were speaking amongst each other. You have also had a couple of plans that you've tossed around, including opening the gates, allowing the cowards within, essentially creating a distraction or a fight amongst Minotaur and people, and then potentially bringing forth this order that the Seer was not available, the Order of the Memory, to hopefully raise up against them, providing you with a suitable distraction to allow you within the obelisk. I think that about covers what your plan is. Like I said, if I'm missing anything, please let me know. So I will make sure to apply it to our prologue. So you all have earned yourself a long rest as guests of Seer Iwa, of Seer Iwa's plantation. You were able to rest here as one of Seer Iwa's allies, or what he believes his allies to be. In the meanwhile, your obsidian armaments have been forged by the Minotaur artisans, obsidian artisans. Let me just go down the list of what everyone got.
Real quick, I have
yes,
been
please.
Rules lawyered, and sorcerers can't use shields, which I never knew.
The sorcerers can't use shield?
You know, they don't have proficiency in shields.
Get owned, noob.
But if someone else can hold the shield, I think I'd still rather just someone else use it rather than me pick a new item.
Well,
Because
what if we allow... let me think about this. Give me a minute. I need to balance something real quick.
yeah, I always just thought people didn't use them because
Everyone's a shield.
you need a hands free. Yeah, but
what if it was just
you
an
can-
arcane focus that gave you AC?
Well, that's what I'm currently I'm thinking to myself right now and seeing the balance. All right.
If you don't want your free shield, I'll take it.
So,
Double fisting shields.
so the way dude, someone was doing that, or someone was gonna do that. I might also be thinking of Dark Souls 2, honestly, and no
That
one's
was my
done
first plan for one of my characters in Verum.
that. Gotcha. Oh, just what double
Then I was told
shield
you
then?
wouldn't get the bonus from both, and I was like, cringe.
Alexander back in the day was going to be a double shielder, but Pathfinder supported it and it was awful.
So I think the way we would do it, if you are still interested, is that exactly what Sam said. It would be an arcane focus, sort of like bracers, if you will, that would provide you a +1 AC. I couldn't give you the 2 AC yet, but essentially, yeah, they'd be bracers that would provide you +1 AC as an arcane focus.
Does anyone not have a shield that wants one?
Ooh, you want to
have
go ahead and give a shield? I'll allow that. I will
I
absolutely.
don't have a special one.
I have a regular one.
Either of you guys, if you like the healer
already
too,
have
would
one.
be better to have more AC because I'm
what's-
pretty much run and hide grandma in a combat.
What's your AC, Surefour?
22.
The special shield would bring me up to 22.
Yeah, you take it.
Okay.
So
How the
what's
hell are you at 22?
Because I have the +1 breastplate than a regular shield. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't bring me up to 22. It'd bring me up to 20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
that's
about to
what-
say, there's no way you're at 22 when I'm wearing plate.
Yeah, it'd bring me up to 20.
what's your dexterity modifier?
It's a +2.
That yeah.
It's the most I can get out of breast, so that's
yeah.
why breast was the best go.
Breastplate's like 14 AC plus dex.
It's 14 plus dex, yeah.
Plus two dex.
So
I
it's the
believe.
14, which is technically 15 because of the +1,
Correct.
+2, and then +2 from shield.
Correct. Breastplate is it's medium, so maximum +2. So it gives you a 15 AC. You don't get disadvantage on stealth. Your dex of +2 puts you at 17, and your shield gives you 2. And if you're getting a +1 shield, that goes ahead and gives you a 20 AC total.
Yeah.
Yep,
I
got
would
it.
hate to see my little potato get hurt.
Oh.
Grandma.
Ow. So you have a little like a little baking pan for a shield that you would normally put.
Potato.
You're wrapped in like this tin foil with a little baking pan up to go and defend people. Oh my gosh, so good. All right. So, Deborah, you are giving your shield off, or handing your shield off to Little Potato. Little Potato, you have yourself a +1 shield. Oh wait, well, bam, it's a +1 shield. What did you? Are you still giving the range defense? Ster,
What?
Ster, was that the trait you chose? The range defense. It's additional +2 AC against range attacks, range weapon attacks.
No. Oh, that was the shield I chose. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Is that the same shield that you would want to give Summer? Summer, is
I'm good with
that
one
buff? All right.
because, because I'm not gonna be like next to people all the time, and I'm gonna mostly get hit by range stuff, so I'm good with that.
All right.
How do me and Whoops have lower AC than the fucking chipmunk and the fucking cannon boy?
Well, Summer.
They took AC bonuses and everything.
Yeah. Also,
I'm still only wearing chainmail. When I get plate mail, it'll go up even more.
I'm wearing +1 plate with added AC, dude. I'm still below him.
you have an AC of 19.
If I
and-
wear plate, I'll go up to 21.
Phil's
Well, you have-
paladin, man.
Well, your AC 19 with great weapon fighting because you're going you're doing a two-hander style as well. So you're all about that offense. Even though a 19, I will tell you right now, is still a respectable AC. So
22.
22's, hey, 22's pretty good too. Y'all have good AC. I'm proud of all of you.
When do
All
I
right.
get 30 AC?
Wait, like when do you get 30 AC?
Yeah.
Like later.
Okay.
Like
Shield of Faith, haste, take the shield spell.
Oh,
He's not gonna be happy until he becomes a god.
I mean, that's
I want to become a god.
every.
Right.
I feel like that's
I
every
cast Shield
player.
of Faith on
idea.
you. Deborah casts haste on you, then you shield yourself.
Surefour wants to be a god more than most players do, Brett. Just
Yeah.
to clarify.
He brings it up a lot.
He brings
Okay.
it up like an abnormal amount
Good to know. Good to know.
I
in every
will become
campaign,
a god,
regardless of character.
or
Got it.
have sex with a god.
I will make note of that. Whoops and Summer's characters are about to become gods if they succeed mainstream of Atlas.
I'm not
Yeah,
having
just
sex
rub it in
with
his
you.
face.
What the fuck?
Hey,
I'm just saying it's possible. I'm just
You
letting
can't
it
say
go.
that out of character. You don't know in
Surefour,
character if you will.
I'm already a
My
god.
character has anxiety. I'm not
I'll
having
have
sex
sex
with
with
you.
Strippin's
That's
character
right.
then.
Sam has a Sam's character has a pantheon. So
I'll
yeah.
have sex with that pantheon.
I reject your sex, peasant.
What?
You heard me.
Jesus Christ.
Muriel is a lady.
I'm
Excuse
now
you.
gonna kill every god.
Oh my. Well, there you go.
Oh no, I've changed his alignment by turning him down for sex. This is bad.
Amazing.
This is the real world.
All it takes.
All takes. All right. So, Deborah, you're handing your shield off to Little Potato Talas. Freaking. Hold on.
I am death incarnate.
Wow.
Hey, Talas, if you spell Talas backwards, it's salad, which sounds like salad.
No, it's salt. Are you. What?
Her name's
What?
Talas Remus.
Salt? What do you mean?
I'm gonna spell it in Nova Hellscape for you.
So not T-A, is not T-A-L-A-S?
No, it's TLAS. Summer,
That's what her name is.
Summer
backwards.
literally
Salt
spelt their
backwards.
name backwards. Yeah.
SummersSalt backwards.
And the fucked up part is it works. It works very well. So, I mean, GG's all around. GG's all around. Vulcan,
It works.
Yeah, Vulcan, you went ahead and chose a +1 plate, smelted obsidian within plate armor, giving you an AC of 19. To
Dude,
last,
you sound like a really good waiter, and we've ordered like nice food, and you're repeating our order back to us.
I am. Well, I'm repeating the order back because for the YouTube audience, because we had a very long beginning while waiting for Ster, so I'm just repeating it for them. I'm being kind.
Summer was later than me.
What?
That's just not correct at all.
Where even were you, Ster? What were you doing?
I was
Sleeping.
asleep.
I get it. I
Dude,
get
my
it.
mom even texted me.
He was online on fucking Discord. You were green.
But your mom texts you to wake up for D&D.
My computer can be on while I'm in bed.
Yeah, but if you're away from the computer it makes you turn orange.
I don't think mine does that. I think I have always on so that people know they can talk to me and they don't.
I had to message your wife on Discord to get you.
I too show myself as always online because I'm desperate for friendship. Yeah.
Buddy.
Well, okay, imagine this scenario, social anxieters. Someone you don't like messages you, and then you suddenly appear online away from idle. They know you're reading it.
That's true.
And then you're just like, I don't want to.
That's
can't
true.
engage with this.
Wait, hang on. So by always being online, you're just covering your
Yeah.
actions.
No, it's good. It's really good.
No, you can do the same
Like,
thing with Do Not Disturb.
Oh shit! It's like when people like they leave the house for the night, but they put the lights on to trick burglars into thinking they're home.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Same diff.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
don't think I've ever not been on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, I leave
notifications.
I leave
Yeah.
myself on Do Not Disturb as well.
Most of the time, I get a message from Woops, and I go to check it immediately, and he's appearing offline anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't know when he arrived or when he left.
Which is good. Yeah, because you don't want that. Because social anxiety.
I am a ghost.
Boo. Boo boo. To last, you chose a +1 breastplate with obsidian smelts within the breastplate itself. Vulcan, you chose a +1 shield of the battering ram, which allows you to expend a charge. You've got 3 charges, and you'd give a you're able to essentially knock people prone. If you push them back 5 feet, you can push them back an additional 10 feet and knock them prone. Big boom. You can do that 3 times per day. Resets at quote unquote dawn, or the Nova Hellscape equivalent of dawn, after 24 hours. And Geth, you chose shield. You chose shield, right? No, you chose plate.
+1 plate.
You chose +1 plate as well. All right, perfect. That is your obsidian gear that's happening. So it has been, I'd say, a couple of days, or it hasn't been a couple of days, or a couple of days have passed. The seer will go off to continue their plan to also gather some more, specifically to gather some more information of exactly how to sneak you into the obsidian obelisk that floats suspended in the settlement itself. This will allow you some time. The blood itself will also dry away, clean away itself.
I ate that body.
You fucking did eat that body. You're fed for the week. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, and big thing. Yeah, you immediately devoured a dead corpse.
Yeah, you rolled to see if it would fuck him up, and you rolled a nat 20. So
I
he
rolled a
was
nat
fine.
20, so you
Never
were good.
punished.
Yeah. Well, 20 is
That's
like,
how we roll. That's
Do
how
it-
we roll.
do it again. Do it again.
He
I'll
would
do
though.
it again.
He'll do it again easy.
Yeah. So, a couple of days while your gear is being crafted by the Minotaur Obsidian artisans, what are you all doing during these few days? Because I believe you had some double crossing to begin at this point, unless your plan has changed, in which case that is fine too. What would you be doing during these couple of days?
I'd be chilling unless we're doing something.
Communing with my inner demons.
Yeah, so are we not able to get all the cowards to kamikaze somewhere?
So are you specifically talking about the Order of Memory, or are you talking about the cowards?
Both.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
well, the first thing I would ask is, so you obviously have communication
We have
with
message.
the Order of the Memory's Elder. As far as the cowards are concerned, I would have to know how specifically you plan, like what your plan is when it comes to that.
To have the Order of the Memory rally them to their cause, so that
Okay.
they can get the additional help.
Okay. So during the couple of days, how would you like to reach out to the memory? Are you, what is Deborah doing as far as that is concerned?
I have message.
Yeah, we were gonna cast message, send him, like, let him know the time is now. But I need to understand,
Yeah.
like,
I'm
where
happy-
is the obelisk within the city? That, like, if
So if you looked outside the plantation itself, one of the first things you notice when arriving outside this settlement and beyond, from behind the wall, is this diamond-shaped structure with a horn, like a curved horn over on the top. It appeared to be larger than what it is behind the wall. Now that you've seen behind the wall and actually look over to the north, the obelisk itself seems to be suspended in the air by some unknown magic. So the obelisk isn't even part of the ground. It is actually floating up in the air now that you are behind the wall. Sort of a worshipping structure, as well as functions as like a temple, almost as if a comparison of a Vatican of the Order of the Horn.
okay, is there any important buildings that they would want to have their people go and defend if it were attacked?
By they, are you what do you mean by they?
But they is the people who are loyal to the Grand Seer.
Oh, gotcha. So, from what you understand from the Seer itself, all those that are loyal to the Grand Seer are sealed up in the obelisk itself, with the Seer responsible of ordering the troops or the Minotaurs, as well as the Memoraths that guard the area. Currently, the Seer is in command, with the Grand Seer's loyalists sealed up within the obelisk itself. If you were to gather more information, which sounds like that you are doing from the Seer will explain that typically, as the population continues to increase, and there are injured and old elderly that are unable to provide sustenance and work over to the settlement, a ritual is typically done, or a ritual in the sense of like a ceremony is done at the foot of the obelisk, where the loyal servants are quote unquote passing on, in which case they're killed and given up to the obelisk. This ceremony has since halted by request of the Grand Seer because of the new workings the Grand Seer is doing with whatever is involved with the Azure Astari and the Black Star. So currently, the obelisk does not seem to be in too much use. The Seer has also expressed, as one way to get you guys in there, is to do the ritual anyways, do the ceremony, and then just explain to the Grand Seer if it failed at that point in time, that the ceremony needed to be done to keep order and keep peace amongst the people, so that people continue to work and tradition may be maintained at that point. So as far as what would be protected if the city were to be attacked, go ahead and give me an investigation check. Because I don't think the Seer, if you were to ask, would you ask the Seer, like, so if anything was attacked, what would you protect? Or would you try and get that information
as I'm
on
understanding
yourself?
it, that the people on the ground are the people who are loyal to this Seer.
Correct.
And all of the important cool people are inside this obelisk.
Correct.
So is there anything that would disrupt the defenses inside the obelisk if it were attacked on the outside, or are they just like, whatever, we're happy in here?
There has always been a common belief that the obelisk is impenetrable for those that are the outside. Whether it is or not would be something you'd have to investigate. But the general understanding is the obelisk itself, already a mystical and magical structure suspended in the air, is believed by the Grand Seer and the followers, and even the Seer himself, that it is impenetrable. So as far as protecting the obelisk itself, the obelisk itself is already well fortified, so any battle that would take place at that point in time could easily be protected by the Seer's guardians. Obviously, if the Seer wants you within the obelisk, the Seer's going to be able to get you within the obelisk itself.
Uh-huh.
So, as far as structures that would probably be defended, I would need a investigation check. And that would be more of your tech. Oh, I see. You rolled right there. My apologies. So with a 9, the basic information that I can give you as far as like big rough estimates, because there's 2 strategic points here in the settlement. It would be the wheat and it would be the obelisk. Since the obelisk is already believed to be impenetrable, whether it is or not needs to be given in practice. But the food source is definitely a valuable resource that the people would want to protect itself. You would think and understand that since you are on the Seer side, if there were to be a quote-unquote attack or a coup, the Seer could probably use their role to either get you within the obelisk itself. It really depends on what kind of distraction you're trying to do. Because there are a couple of options. You can go ahead and have a big attack happen, and then the Seer sneak you into the obelisk itself through an area that only the Seer knows how to gain access to. Or, as the Seer would recommend, a ritual of sacrifice for the ceremony of either an elderly individual or an injured individual, whose body is then taken up to the obelisk for further blood ritualing of the settlement itself.
I would say that my goal would be the first one, to just get as many guards from inside the obelisk to come out to deal with the problem so that we can move around a little bit more freely when we sneak in.
Okay. So would you bring this up to the Seer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me think for a moment. Processing, DM brain processing. The Seer would express concern over to you. And if they were not to leave the obelisk, what then? This already seems to be a unusual turn of events. The fact that the Grand Seer, as well as his followers, have sealed themselves within the obelisk. I'm curious if they would even leave if something were to go wrong.
But if they'd never leave, then aren't you the Grand Seer?
The Seer would think for a moment. And then a smile would form in his face. I see. So either one way or another.
Is there any way that we could move the obelisk? Do you understand the magic that holds it in place?
He frowns. I don't. However, I believe you may be onto something. If an attack were to happen within the settlement, and the Grand Seer and his followers never left the obelisk, it could be easily demonstrated that the Grand Seer has lost all interest within their people, their food sources, and their followers that are still out here. If the Grand Seer never leaves, I feel like that would demonstrate a sort of ignorance, a sort of failing. A smile forms on his face, which would mean I would rightfully take that position as Grand Seer. What do you think? Looking at you for approval.
It sounds like a good idea. The longer we can keep things under control out here, the less food we can give them.
He gives you a nod, and then it says, I'm trying to think of more. God. Sometimes it's really hard to play just like crudish dick characters, because I'm like, what would an idiot say at this point in time? He would then smile over and say, a brilliant plan. You will make for an excellent Seer.
I forgot that this was just the dude that repeated your plan last time and said, I'm such a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You'll make-
then I will rule the world.
You will make for an excellent seer.
Thank you, stranger.
Does he have the
Influence
authority
words
to
play.
like tell the gigantic minotaurs out here to like not resist the people coming in?
If you would ask that, he would simply respond with, "But of course, I am a seer. I rule over these people justly, and that includes the giant minotaur that guards the front doors." What are you
And it
saying?
is so simple. You have all of the power. I don't understand why you would even give it to this Grand Seer when he does nothing.
He looks down, thinking to himself, and then looks back up to you. If an attack were to happen, and the obelisk were to open at that point in time, the Grand Seer could easily demonstrate their power. However, it is just as you mentioned. Either the Grand Seer reveals themselves, or the Grand Seer's followers reveal themselves. That shall provide you an entryway into the obelisk. Yes, this is a much better plan. Instead of trying to be subtle with rituals, we stage an attack. Do you feel
It's a-
confident in this ability?
It's a win-win for you, for what you wanted was to fuel this land with blood once more. No matter what, this will happen.
Yes. And the tradition may continue. He seems very proud of himself at this moment. Chest filled with pride.
My idea, smile. I made this.
I made
I'm
this.
so proud of you for coming up with it.
He looks over. God damn it. He looks over at Deborah with a smile. It says, "If you all stay with me, you shall be rulers amongst the weak. The tradition will maintain itself. You all shall be powerful and rich seers. Under my rule, under my command, under my protection. I will always remember my allies at this day."
Deborah nods along like he'll get to continue living.
And then he will look over again. "What of this Order of the Memory? Are you in communication with them?"
Oh yes, we can send them a magical message and let them know, for I told them. When the time comes, we will need their help.
Indeed. Perhaps you should do so sooner rather than later. Now to think, when would be the best time to strike? He looks up, beginning to sort of scratch at his beard.
Tomorrow.
Perhaps sooner than later.
Over the last week or so, have I been able to see if anyone's going in or out of the obelisk at all?
So it's been a few days. Are you spending your week seeing if anyone's going inside the obelisk?
I would have been studying the
Mhm.
area.
The obelisk itself, suspended in air, remains idle for the days that you are waiting for your armaments. No one goes in, no one goes out.
How do they resupply?
Probably underground.
If you ask the seer would explain that all the supplies they have are already within there. It is a well-established
So
fortification.
it's completely self-sustainable.
It's not that it's self-sustainable, it's that they have enough resources to not leave in a while.
Okay.
But it's uncertain of what's happening inside. Again, the Grand Seer seems to be in cahoots with this Azure Astari, who mentions having a tap into the Black Star. The Black Star itself is already an unknown entity of power, as you have seen from Geth. It can either be that they already have the supplies to keep their area fortified, or They've already tapped into the Black Star itself, in which case the sustaining works. But it still wouldn't explain why the obelisk hasn't been opened yet. If the Black Star, if the sustenance from the Black Star has already been achieved. So we're just uncertain. The obelisk itself is a massive structure, so it is easy to believe that they would still have resources from within that can self-sustain the people that are inside. But it can't do it forever. The seer would even explain that there is no way of self-sustaining. But within the grain, as well as the like the salted cattle meats, they could probably sustain themselves for quite some time. But the obelisk remains sealed. No one goes in, no one goes out. The seer, at this point, as you mentioned tomorrow, he agrees, saying that sooner rather than later would be better. Hesitates a little bit. And says, "What if this wasn't to work, though? We still need people to serve. Is there any way that they could not attack the farmers? If we lose the farmers, if we lose the servants, then we lose everything."
I think you need to make it believable. If the farmers are slain, the Order of the Memory can replace them. If not, they have their own food source underground.
You mentioned this food source. Can you tell me more about it again?
I'm not quite exactly sure what it was. Some growth of mushrooms and expansive cavern.
He will think for a moment. Well, what if we send our troops outside the walls? Surely you're familiar with this area. What if we claim this food source for ourselves? Or the Horde?
Won't that be easy enough when we use them as pawns?
Explain.
When the Order of the Memory comes in, attacks, they won't be at their home. Remember, we're using them, they are nothing. When all this is done, the best case would be that they all perish.
And you think we shouldn't use the giant minotaur? They could probably make quick work of this Order of the Memory. They're originally servants here, correct? Surely they're still weak.
I believe that it would be in our favor if those within the obelisk had to come out and correct this problem themselves.
The seer frowns. But wouldn't that put me in a poor position?
You said it yourself not long ago, that he would expose himself and show him to the people.
Seer frowns, looking away a little bit, crossing his arms and thinking. But if this weren't to work, then? If this doesn't work, this could put me in a very sensitive position. Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah, okay.
Good luck, LOL.
Does anyone want to aid me? Is that an aidable thing?
Could I stand behind him menacingly?
I touch my grandma, I give her guidance.
Vulcan will say it, him saying he'll be put in a sensitive position. You're already in one.
Yeah,
that's me aiding.
Yeah, that's if someone would like to go ahead and do the help other, absolutely, you can go and roll an advantage. I would allow that.
Give her guidance.
All right, 15. Roll that 1d4 for that beautiful guidance. total of an 18. Go ahead and make your argument again, Deborah. After he folds his arms and almost pouting like a large cow child. This could put me in a very sensitive position if this weren't to work.
Seer, you have to have the confidence that this will work. You hold all of the cards. You have the Order of the Horn. You have the Order of the Memory. You have all of the food. You are the true seer. They just don't realize it yet.
His eyes shine brightly with hope, as you mentioned.
Like a diamond.
Like a diamond. A glistening diamond within his eyes. He ponders. This Order of the Memory is an anomaly to us. Surely we aren't aware of their potential and their power. Why? And then he smirks before he turns over, sort of deceptively. Why, it could make for a good case as to why we must maintain our tradition. That now is not the time to change the rule of the land. That we must maintain the order. We must maintain the blood. If we have unknown enemies capable of breaking through our walls. This is why we must fortify and maintain our tradition. Yes. I think it would be wise if you would contact this Order of the Memory. Say it is time, sooner rather than later. He stares at Deborah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Brilliant. And that's what you will do. Pointing at all of you at this point. Contact the Order of the Memory. Let them know of an exploit within the defenses. Maybe something within the doors itself. Is any of them capable of sleep magic, perhaps?
Probably?
What if?
What?
Who
Kind of
knows?
random, bro.
Then he looks over. What if you tell the Order that the Minotaurs at the guards are susceptible to sleep magic? They cast the spell, and it's a ruse. They pretend to fall asleep, opening the doors and allowing them in. Once they're inside, the ruse will end, as they were not actually asleep the entire time. He holds up his finger. Like, this is the best fucking idea he's ever had.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, man.
You're missing some
cool,
of the
Billy.
potential here.
Huh?
I believe we should be causing as big of a problem for those within the obelisk as possible. I assume you don't want to seem like you're siding with this Order of the Memory. But once the obelisk opens up, or the people see what is truly going on here, then we can simply slay all of those from the Order.
He thinks to himself again. Well, then how should the Memory even attack the settlement then? Folds his arms again. How would they even break into the settlement? They need to appear as if they are a powerful enemy.
Have them simply do it within the night, as though they snuck in. Leave the door ajar for them. And you don't care about the Mammaraths, do you?
Squint. Squint. Also squint.
His back is turned at this point, not even thinking of the Mammaraths in the room. And he says, of course not. We can replenish their numbers easily.
Well, exactly. A few casualties among Mammaraths is no problem. Just make sure your Minotaurs don't get in their way.
Vulcan gives his brother a look that is commonly, we're going to kill this guy.
Yeah.
It's so
already
subtle,
looking.
and they do it so often that they're just doing it already at each other and nodding.
He thinks to himself a little bit, once again scratching his beard. But then what do we tell the memory? What do we tell this order of the memory? The door is simply left ajar?
I told them that that's what I would arrange for them. Either they all arrive and we can get them to attack the obelisk, send them in, or those within the obelisk must show themselves.
Yes, of course. We could pretend that you are actually a sort of double agent, serving their needs and what they wish to
yes.
follow.
Pretending.
Very good. Very good, Elder. Very good.
Perfect. Well then, as the rest slumber, then we shall allow you to contact the Order of the Memory. Feel free to leave the door ajar. But are you sure we shouldn't use the giant Minotaur to slay them where they stand? No, yes, it needs to be a bigger distraction. Perhaps I should have them walk away from the doors. Yes, I'll have them walk away from the doors. That's what I'll do. And then
Don't they have shifts? Don't they have shifts?
The giant Minotaur have no need for sleep. That is what makes them so good of gods.
I see.
A magical spell keeps them awake. All we need is their broad, not their brains. Very well, then. Contact this Order of the Memory, and then simply let me know when this attack will happen. It is up to you to create as much of a ruckus as possible. If the obelisk does not open, then it'll be obvious that I am the true seer, the grand seer. Maybe I can, and he'll get up on the table a little bit. Maybe I can go ahead and fight you. Pretend to be victorious. No, wait, no, you shouldn't be a part of that. And then he begins to think a little bit of himself.
You're overthinking this a little bit too much. You just must trust in the plan we have set forth. Everything will work out fine.
He rubs his head a little bit. Yes. It's been a while since I've received some slumber. Maybe I should rest while all this is happening.
Do it.
And then he looks over at Deborah like, is that a good idea? Can I do that?
Yes, of course, my darling. Get some rest.
Yes. I will go ahead and do that. Maybe before the attack. Maybe I'll get a little bit of shut-eye during the attack. Well, there's much to do.
Just make sure that we have the authority to let the giant minotaurs know about the door.
Shall speak with them now. Let them know to walk away from the gates.
Ah, yes, and then get your sleep. You've earned it.
Actually, he thinks to himself again. I should stay awake. After all, I am soon to be Grand Seer. And he'll walk out of the plantation to instruct the large Minotaur of their role in this plan.
Yikes.
All right.
This already happened somewhere.
So it has been a few days, so everyone has received a long rest. All of your abilities have been refreshed and recalled. What are you going to do now?
Have we gotten our armaments yet?
You will receive your armaments in the next day. This has already been a few days. Your armaments will be ready to go by tomorrow.
Because when I get them, I want to search them.
Like the armaments themselves?
Yeah.
Like-
For magical spells or like little
Things that might be
tracking kinda
imbued
things.
within that. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Deborah, you mentioned you were going to do a sending spell or a message spell, or is it that Gath that's going to do the message spell?
If she
Whoever
can
has
send the
it.
message, I can send it. Think of me like a faxing machine.
Yeah.
All right. What message would you like to... What spell are you using to send the message?
Message.
All right. So here's the thing about a message. The range is 120 feet.
Got him.
Can we just go to the wall or something?
It's
How
like
far
pointing.
out was the thing from
All
the
right,
can?
I have a
The
better
reflection
idea.
in
I
here
use
is
animal
terrible.
messenger.
Oh.
Yeah, with what animals?
Can I
in this
find a like a
wasteland, huh?
hell rat or something?
Rat. Well, there's Cataplas.
What?
Let's see. You use an animal deliver message. Choose a tiny beast you can see within the recipients who
Oh.
matches a general discussion. And okay, one
I
moment.
need to find a rat.
Yeah, because currently the only creatures that you've been able to see is the Cataplas, and you probably don't want to send that there. You must choose a tiny beast itself. Okay.
Go find the big minotaur. Or like the dude we've been talking to.
Okay.
Excuse me, do you have any small animals?
I haven't heard you talk that much, he'll say, looking down over at you.
I've been told I sound unpleasant.
That is true. How could I help you, little one?
I need a small animal, like this big. She makes like a hand motion, like this big.
Hmm. 1 second. Jesus Christ. You're looking for a creature that big?
Yes.
We had a creature of that size, we would use it as a meat source.
It's not
Might-
a lot of meat.
We did have an infestation of Yokian some time ago. A Yokian is sort of like a small rodent that is covered in this like viscous sort of mucus. It has one eye, and it has like these long sort of antenna-like ears. Its mouth covers so it has like this tiny singular eye, but it has this large maw of a mouth that goes all the way up to its side ears, essentially. And yeah, it's covered in mucus. It has a bony-like frame and sort of like this spine-like tail, I think is the best way to describe it. They're pesty. They're definitely little pests that do not provide any food source whatsoever.
Puppy.
I could go ahead and see if a Yokian is be around there somewhere. They might be something in the fields themselves. I shall communicate with the Guardians, see if the farmers have located any of the pests.
I need a life.
He groans in pain. Very well. I shall see if I can honor this request.
Can I make an investigation check to see like why this guy's so stupid?
Like an insight check itself?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
there's absolutely something going on with this guy's brain.
You could do okay, so you want to do investigation like speak with the Guardians?
I think insight would be more appropriate.
So if you're doing an insight check, it's specifically you'd be able to see if like this is like a facade or if he is genuinely this senile slash.
Well, I'm curious. Number one, if it's a facade, and number two, I think maybe more like an arcane check to see if something is actually influencing.
Oh,
him.
okay. Yeah, I'll allow an insight check and an arcane check to see if there's anything wrong with his mind. Okay. So with a 13, I can let you know he doesn't seem well.
Ugh.
Yeah, yikes to both them. I think a 13 is high enough, only because he's not very good at it. You do sense a level of deceit, but not like a masterful, like a mastermind level of deceit. Like he definitely has some sort of nefarious purposes. But the best assumption would be that he just is going to plan to betray all of you once the deed is done.
Oh, yeah, I've been assuming that.
Yeah, but that's like the obvious end of like where he's being deceitful. But as far as like, is this like a facade? It doesn't appear to be so. This seems to be his individual self. The Arcana check gives you no other information. Originally, you said investigation check to see what people may know about the seer. You are also free to roll that if you wish to communicate either with the Mammoraths or more than likely the Minotaurs themselves.
Yeah, sure, if they'll actually talk to me.
Okay. So, an investigation of a 13, I would say that the Mammoraths themselves had nothing ill to say. Mentioning the Minotaur themselves were a noble ally in a war long past against these foreboding creatures. That the seer himself may actually have been one of the famed warriors of that end. You also understand that the Mammorath's brains have been brainwashed. So how true this information is uncertain. The Minotaurs, I would say, with an investigation of a 13, unfortunately, are quiet and tight-lipped on it for any question you ask about the seer. All they would mention, if anything, for the few that would talk to you, is that the seer is the leader. And has temporarily gained more power over that. But as far as like positive things there's about the seer, nothing is really said. The seer itself kind of gives off the vibe of just someone who may have been more of a figurehead and is now seated with actual power, and is really unsure what to do or how to handle that. Is probably the best conclusion you can come to.
How long has the obelisk been closed?
If you were to ask the seer, the obelisk has been closed now for 3 weeks.
Okay. That is all.
Okay. So, after some time, I'm going to go ahead and roll this. I'm going to roll 1d100. What are the chances that there will be rodents? Elves. Okay. Not great. I have to roll higher than a 60. Oh.
Puppy.
So I will say, with that 63, the seer will return. He will return. How would we be holding this? Oh yeah, it would probably be an old sack made of the leather of Catoplas. As you then kind of hear this, like, a very alarming gurgling screech from the Yokian. Take this foul thing.
Yay!
What did you need this for anyway?
I wanted a pet. Thank you.
He looks over at you. Child, don't you understand that I am a seer of this settlement? Simply put, you cannot be wasting my time like this.
Okay.
He looks over at everyone and says, aren't you going to scold your child?
It's more important than just a pet. She does not know how to express herself yet.
Don't you think I should know what you're going to do with this? I am the seer, after all.
We are going to contact the Order of the Memory.
Good. I will allow this. And then you'll kind of slowly begin to walk away.
I will allow this. Like it wasn't already happening.
So she's gonna. We're long resting before we actually start the dungeon, right?
We
Long
already
resting
did.
one more time.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you're,
we did.
yeah, I mean, you're long resting no matter what, so yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure before I fucking start blasting spell slots so this rat doesn't just run away or eat my face.
The rat.
And
Okay.
I started blasting.
I'm gonna open up the bag, then I'm
Rat
gonna
dies.
immediately cast Animal Friendship.
It turns its head over to you. Curious.
Puppy, I'm gonna give him a little bit of the mushroom goop that I still have left over. Okay, what am I telling the memory people? I gotta tell my friend here to go tell them.
What was that?
Okay, this is Puppy. Puppy's gonna go bring a message to the memory people. What do we want to tell them?
We want to tell them the time the door will be open so that they could aid us in our revolution.
The Yokian gives like a light sniff as it tilts its head. Where its nose would be are sort of two nostril holes, kind of like that you would see of a skeleton. As you just see just this mucus dripping out of these holes.
I pat the puppy. Okay, but you're gonna go tell them this time and this day, and then you're gonna come back here, okay?
Oh my god. Oh my god, he's so violent.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Animal Messenger and I'm gonna give him all the details, and he's gonna go tell the memory people.
Memory.
Memory.
Mammary glands.
Memory. I give him some more mushrooms for the road.
He eats the mushroom in one gulp.
Cool.
As you can
I pat
actually
the
see,
puppy, he's adorable.
as you can actually see in its gaunt little rat-like form, the material, the mushroom, like going down its gullet. You can actually see it like engorged in the areas that it's being swallowed down before it's finally pushed into its stomach by unknown organs.
Isn't he cute, guys?
He sneezes on your face.
Disgusting.
The Yokian will then jump out of the bag and then begin to scurry to the south.
Bye bye, puppy.
You'll hear her from the seer as it runs by his giant hoof.
Bye bye, puppy. Okay, I did it.
You will see the seer walk back in. Is it done? Pesky creatures.
He's adorable.
Yes, it should be done.
Very well. How soon will this attack happen then?
At the specific date and time that we just arranged that I'm unsure of in person.
How many days would you like from this point?
Just one day.
Just one day, so the next day.
Assuming we have all of our stuff, yeah.
Yeah, you'll have all your stuff at that point. You will then see the elder begin to think to himself. He said, "This is most sufficient. I will inform the guardian Minotaur to leave the door open a crack. I will send the Mamoraths to fight against the Order of Memory." So the message that you have given is to arrive at this time. Are you specifically asking for an attack?
Yeah. It's the revolution we had previously discussed.
Yeah, I think we would say something along the lines of the gates will be open for you at so and so time. Be
Throw
ready.
wide the gates.
Ooh, okay. When communicating the revolution, your revolution with the Order of Memory, did you inform them of like hey, this gate's gonna be open, or did you let them know like, hey, like we've weakened their forces? Like exactly how much information are you embellishing over to the
The gate is open. They're weakened, but really not much more than that.
Okay. Okay.
Open to interpretation.
Ooh. All right, let me go ahead and do another
And for him
roll.
to encourage the cowards to come in as well.
You thinking the coward's there? Does animal messenger allow for a response?
When the messenger arrives, it delivers the message to the creature. The messenger speaks only blah blah blah. I gotta check. 20 message miles, messenger.
I was gonna say a while ago, we should really just go ourselves. This is getting.
I don't believe so.
Uh-oh. Okay. The message will be given. All right.
Imagine they're just dead.
I am going to make a roll. Make sure to do this. This
I
will
mean,
be
they could always just give him a piece of paper to come back with too. Because he comes back to me.
true, but would they know that?
They just see him dipping like rat comes, speaks words. Okay, my go no. My people need me.
Goo rat.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do a private roll that chat can see, but you guys will not. This specifically
Looks away from the stream.
well, I mean, obviously,
nice.
obviously there's a bit of an honor system here, but this specifically is that if the Order of the Memory is actually gonna go through with this or not. So we're gonna, oh boy, let me think of percentages. Give you a moment. I have to mentally process this. All right, so you're letting them know the gate's open. The forces are weakened. It is now time to strike. He's doing this. But that's all the information he's given. Oh boy, this is gonna be tough. Okay. There's really no diplomacy or persuasion because you're just giving him a fucking note. Okay. All
We
right.
did tell him we'd let him know.
You did tell him you'd let him know.
This is us. Letting
Yeah.
This is
him
us
know.
letting you know.
Oh boy. They do owe you. All right. All right. Okay. All right. It is done at this point. Whew. All right. You all, are you ready for do you do the long rest, the evening rest?
Yeah.
Sleepo mode.
We sleep.
We sleep.
We sleep.
Okie dokie. So after a long rest and over at the appointed time. Whew. It's time. The door will be left. The scene you will see is the door cracked open. I believe settlement, the jewel of the wasteland. Let me go ahead and delete all the tokens. You all are going to see. Go over here. Go over here. The gate has been left open. So after the sleep, after you all go to sleep, what are you all doing during this time while it question if an attack happens?
Making
I'm
sure
meditating.
I'm safe.
Are we
Okay.
able to like go to the top of the gate?
To see them? Yeah, you're able to do whatever you want.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there's like a place to actually walk up and stand up there.
Yeah, you're able to. We can even make this the view. You guys can see, right? Like, there's no, like, impit of where...
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, you guys can see it? Okay, I'll just make sure the bit. All right. So you stand over at the gate, watching down. And you're just waiting and seeing at this point in time. If they will actually show up. Whew. All right, so let me go ahead and see a couple of things over here. Boom, boom, boom. So there needs to be some bloodshed. So the farmers, as the elder believes would be the best way to go about it, would still be going about their business. No warning would be given to any farmers because this needs to be as believable as possible. Meanwhile, I think Mammoraths will be sent to hide behind some of the statues to get ready to jump these people as they come in. Sort of like an inspection investigation. The Minotaurs, surprisingly enough, will be... actually, no. He'll send 1 Minotaur, 2 Minotaurs, but all the other Minotaurs will be recalled back to the plantations themselves. You all will be waiting on top of the gate as you look over to the Village of Cowards. Are you trying to hide your presence at all from the Village of Cowards and the denizens that are outside the wall? Or are you just, like, standing on the wall while everyone's, like, looking up? Do you want to be seen, I suppose, is the question I would ask. Okay, so you'd kind of, like, hide back there. So, it is once again a quiet time over in the wastelands. The Howling Wastelands. As you wait, the time then begins to approach. Curious if the order of the memory will actually show. From underground and some of the tents, you begin to hear this sort of like battle cry and chanting. At that point, you see Elder Olab walk out from behind one of the camps, looking over to the gate, seeing that it has been pushed ajar. And he will begin charging with his Order of Astari over into the gate.
Genocide!
It's happening.
The door is ajar. The door is ajar.
They will begin screaming and charging towards the gate, as you will see a couple of confused members of the cowards looking, wondering why they're screaming and charging at this point in time. Elder Olab, buff as ever, will begin to will stand in front of the gate, giving a rallying speech over to the cowards. He will say and scream that a revolution has started from behind the gate, and that trusted allies are within there, saviors of the Hellscape, who will be able to provide them with a better life once their enemies are crushed. He will explain that the Order of the Horn has oppressed everyone for too long, but now they are weakened by saviors of the Hellscape who have bravely went in for the pursuit of freedom and a new life. He will then begin to reveal his food and mushroom source from underneath the earth, from underneath the Hellscape, beginning to hand the food source to other people. He will explain to eat, to consume, to be fed again. That you do not need their lies and their promises, their grains and their arduous work. You just need to believe in one thing. A new life, a better life that he's able to provide. And with that, he moves over to the gate and gives it a push. As the door begins to push, as the gate begins to push be ajar, he smiles, looking over at the cowards. Their eyes just filled with either a righteousness of hope or just simply hungry, as this individual is now able to not only provide a food source, but apparently has the information. The defenses have been weakened. I'm now going to go ahead and roll there. Persuasion check. Now I have to see if the elder successfully persuaded the cowards. You will roll at an advantage. Okay. So with a 26,
My man.
everyone begins to charge and scream as well.
Holy shit.
As he simply states, there is many of us and few of them. Once they have our oppressors have been defeated, we will be free. We will take the livestock. We will take the wheat. But that will only be a temporary measure, as I have the food that will have us be alive, that will allow us to continue our civilization. And with that, oh boy, the fruits
This is gonna go well.
the fruits of your fucking labor, as you see Elder Olab charge in with his Order of the Memory, marching in.
For the memory.
The gates are open, as the cowards will also, I'm gonna go ahead and roll. God, how many cowards actually?
All of them.
All of them.
Not the old people, but all of them.
I'm gonna roll.
One-armed dude in
Because
here. There's the one-armed dude who I stabbed in here.
Because of the persuasion check, I'll roll a 25d4 for a percentage of the people that'll be going in. Yeah, half of the cowards will charge in, joining that. The others will wait to see how actually this is going to work. But this man has food. This man is strong, and he will begin to charge in with both cowards and his Order of the Memory, as you will bear witness to these guys moving in. They'll begin looking around as they begin to stare over at the fields that all of them are familiar with, since this is where they originally came from. The people at the farms will begin to look over and see that the elder, along with all of these people, are charging in, as he will then scream, "Now is your time for freedom. You do not need to serve under these people. You have a choice." He'll scream over at the fields to join us. I'm going to go ahead and roll another persuasion check with everything that's going on. This time, simply at a normal attack. Simply a normal number at this point, not at an advantage. And with a 25, the people who are fucking fed up with breaking their backs over this wheat
We're the side characters.
will now begin. Unfucking
Have we said anything?
We made him the main
In
character.
character, I haven't said a word.
Unbelievable. Will now begin seeing that there is a massive amount of people from the outside rushing in. There's this muscular Astari who seems to break in, very confident. There are no giant minotaurs at the gate. So the people of the farms will now simply assume that a revolution has started and is beginning to happen at this point in time that no one even freaking realized that was done from the cowards that left the gate. They begin to think and realize those individuals that left the walls for, quote unquote, a better life, unknown, by the way, of who is actually outside the walls, because no one leaves the walls nor hears what's happening outside the walls, are now going to assume that these are the people who found that better life. These revolutionists, these individuals who are going to liberate them. So I will now roll another 25d4. And half of the farmers, with a 55%, half of the farmers will now will also begin to charge and attack, while the other halves begin to rout out at that point in time. So, with everything that you have seen at this point in time, what are you all doing?
Holy shit! I didn't
Lol,
think it was going
said
to
the
work.
mock. Lamau.
Wow.
Well, it was either going to work.
Mac
or
and
not.
Vulcan are just arm wrestling.
We don't have to do shit.
Yeah, I think we just sit back. We open up our lawn chairs and just watch.
Grandma.
I'll be
Where's that
checking
gif of
everyone's arms
the
at this point.
the gif of the guy pulling up to the soccer game or whatever and like unfolding the chair really fast and sitting down?
And then sits down. Yeah, these rolls were fucking insane. All right. Yeah, Elder rolled on his any D20 roll. He hasn't rolled lower than an 18. So this is literally probably as close to the best case scenario that you all could have fucking seen at this point in time. So yeah, like everything that could have happened would happen. Jesus Christ. All right.
Get a picture of Deborah in the Nova Hellscape chat.
All right.
She ready?
Let's so if you guys are not joining this fight,
Where are they running to directly? What fight are they starting?
I mean, so they're
Exactly.
just charging forward looking for anyone they need to fight at this point in time. The farmers themselves have already begun to stab at their Mimirath and Minotaur guardians, who are essentially assured they work, beginning to overpower them. Meanwhile, the cowards, as well as the Order of the Memory, is charging up to the front, heading in the direction of the obelisk, hoping to essentially, quote-unquote, cut the head of the snake that's leading them. Who would
Where's the
be
seer?
any Minotaur. The seer is going to be, last time you saw was still within the plantation themselves, getting ready to sneak you guys into the obelisk while the fight breaks out.
Gotcha.
They, from what you can tell in the direction of the Order of the Memory, as well as the cowards, they are heading in that direction because the obelisk is behind the plantation.
I think our best bet would be following the seer, not directly, but just following in his footsteps, I guess.
Okay. Well, so the seer's to the
let's
north.
find the seer, figure out the secret path, and kind of wing it from there.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
But hopefully getting
But-
towards the obelisk. The correct
Have I
way.
checked the armaments yet?
oh, all right. Have you inspected the armaments when you got them? Go ahead and roll a detect magic or an arcane check to see if there's anything else that is being done at this point.
All right.
I'm gonna have to do some more rolls here
A
once you
very
guys settle that.
smart idea.
Yes.
How do I make these rolls?
Make an Arcana check.
From where? Because I
Oh.
can't see my character.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Give me 1 second. I will put your characters on the screen because this is the scene that you guys have seen.
Nice.
I shall place your token here, and
I'm
your
also-
token here.
I'm also proficient in smith tools and whatnot, if that helps.
Yeah, I'll give you an advantage.
I bet.
I bet.
I bet.
An 18. So, I will let you know that you do not detect anything out of the ordinary when it comes to these armaments. What was said that was going to be given to you was given to you with no modifications.
Nice.
All right. So even though you guys are down here, I'm assuming that you're actually up at the what's it called, the palisade, up on the top of the wall, as they begin to charge in. And so you will see the elder point forward and says, Our friends have given us an opening. We charge forward to the obelisk. We killed the seer. And at that point, they will begin to charge forward. So let's see what happens.
I have a feeling they're gonna get fucking squished.
So the Mammoth guards will begin to run over and charge at everyone who is essentially marching forward at this point. Inspired by the diplomatic speech of the elder, this will raise their odds in perception and the inspiration. All right, I need to roll higher than I would say a 35 to see if they break through this. So with a 55, you will see them fight in a combat that will last 9 rounds. Is there anything you guys would like to do during those 9 rounds as they begin to charge forward?
I assume we'd be sneaking past all this, trying to get to where we want to go, right?
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to really quickly, before we do that, just make a note of what type of weapons and equipment they're using.
Okay.
They'll get a description.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're essentially the most simple weapons that you could find.
The
Pieces.
Mammoraths?
Oh, the Mammoraths. Oh no. The
cards.
Mammoraths are decorated in obsidian armor and obsidian edged weapons.
So they got the big boy shit.
Yes.
All right.
But so yeah, the order has numbers. The Mammorath has armaments.
Okay.
So after 9 rounds, I'm gonna go ahead and roll. See what kind of percentage we're looking at. 25, 26. Roll. Okay. Okay. So, wow. Holy shit. After nine rounds, the Mammoraths are killed and wiped out, with 15% of the Order of the Memory being killed by the Mammoraths. But the numbers themselves are what is keeping them dominant at this point in time. 85% of the troops still remain over with the Elder. At the same time, I'm going to go ahead and roll. This one is actually going to be a 50-50 shot at this point in time to see if the farmers actually overrun the Minotaurs and the Mammoraths that were guarding the food source. Yes, with a 70%, this is insane. The farmers have successfully, in 9 rounds as well, have taken over, have overridden the Minotaurs as well as the Mammoraths.
God.
Holy
because
shit, they're
numbers
going in.
are at their side.
Viva la France!
38% of the
stronger than we gave them credit for.
38% of the farmers have been killed by the Guardians there, as they are now charging towards the big order of people that are moving forward, bolstering the defenses of the Order of the Order of the Memory, the cowards themselves, and begin to run forward. I'm gonna go ahead and roll in the diplomacy check, as this is looking pretty positive. With a critical miss, everyone else that has remained out of the battle continues to be out of the battle. They are now running outside the wall at this point in time for protection, just because they're afraid that both the Mammoraths and the Minotaurs may just start killing people, which is exactly what they're doing at this point in time. You guys wanted to stealth over to the seer, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me some stealth checks. This is all going to be at advantage with very low DCs because no one is paying attention to you right now.
Stealth check, yeah?
Yes, at advantage, please. 11, 12.
Where's my token? Oh, there's.
Over on the lower left. 10.
Sneaky as an elephant.
13. And I need Vulcan. Give me a stealth check.
I don't like these.
Well, you got an advantage and it's a low DC.
You like stealth checks, Brett?
I hate stealth checks, bud.
All right, with a 7.
Hell yeah.
As everyone begins to stealth over, I'm going to go ahead and begin to kind of move you guys along over on the area trying to stay out. Everyone begins to stealth away, hiding from everyone as they're going over to the seer. While they're moving forward, you will see the Elder of the Memory look over and recognize Vulcan in the battlefield, pointing over and saying, "Brother, join us in this fight. Free your fellow people." Vulcan.
I'm gonna kill the big one. You stay on. Go kill him.
The big one, he questions, before.
Yeah, real big.
2 Mammoraths and Minotaurs now join the fray to fight, and this is the second wave. Before he begins to respond at who the big one is and what your strategy is, he immediately engages in the fight. With the farmers now joining in suit, beginning to ease up, Yep, the number's gonna look a little better. Rolling higher than a 45 will let them break through this. Okay, so at a 39, this is where the battle kind of begins to turn. The Mammoraths themselves are easily murdered. Sorry, fellow Mammorath players. But the Minotaurs...
It's simply not true.
Yeah, the Minotaurs themselves are holding their own as the farmers begin charging in at this point in time. You all continue to stealth at this point. Farmers begin to join over here, bolstering the percentages. 55 over there with the farmers over there, yada, yada, yada. That definitely replenishes all of the forces of the memory and the cowards once the farmers get there. Half the farmers would probably join at that point in time, as another half of the farmers are still trying to merge in over there. I'm going to go ahead and roll to see what kind of losses we're looking at this round. That's a lot of losses. The Minotaurs themselves begin to tear into 32% of the forces, leaving 68% of the now combined forces of the farmers, well, half the farmers, the cowards, and the Order of the Memory. You guys continue to sneak up ahead forward. The other farmers, after, let's see here, roll 4d3. Well, bam. 8 at this point. So that's after 8 rounds of combat. You all would continue to sneak further and further ahead. As you guys continue to stealth up over to the plantation where the seer is, would any of you keep watch of the fight?
Yeah.
Okay. So 8 rounds, so I think this is the last thing you're going to see at this point in time. The farmers, the rest of the farmers, continue to join the massive amount of people that are currently breaking through the Minotaurs. 1d100. I once again need to roll, I'm going to say higher than a 30% this time, as the forces of the memory as well as the cowards have been replenished back to full, with all the farmers joining at this point in time that were originally going to join. So, rolling 1d100 after 35. Yes. After this point in time, the Minotaurs are finally downed. I'm going to roll another 44. That's another 12 rounds of combat.
God damn.
13d4. 26% of their troops are wiped out at that point in time as they continue to charge forward. At that point in time, once that battle is complete, you all would arrive over at the plantation again to head over to where the seer is. By the time you guys arrive over to where the seer is, over in the plantation area, all you guys are hearing is just the cries of battle, as the ground itself is just bathed in the blood of Minotaur, Mammorath, farmers, cowards, and the Order of the Memory. As you walk in, you just see the seer with a wide smile on his face as he looks over, as they begin charging forward. He's smiling as he looks over, and he says, "This is going just as well as I'd expected. You've done well, my followers."
It's best not to expect anything.
And then he looks back over to the obelisk, which has not shifted. He smiles. "Just as I suspected. The obelisk itself remains closed. Once this battle is over, I will claim myself as Grand Seer. If they are to arrive over at the plantation, a lovely surprise will be waiting for them." It is at this point you see the 2 giant Minotaurs crouched behind the plantation, ready to finish off anyone that actually arrives over at the obelisk. Aren't I a brilliant tactician? He looks at Deborah for approval.
Hold on. I've got some thinking to do.
Please.
Who would be the best person to betray, and in what way?
What?
This plan has no right to be going.
We
into
still need to
any
meet the
way.
Great Seer, dude.
Yeah,
We do.
We need him to get up there still.
Yes, you're doing very well. Now, where was this secret entrance you had mentioned?
He looks over. You still want to go up there?
Oh, yes, of course.
But if they're sealed there, then simply doesn't that make me Grand Seer? We don't need to shed any more blood. At least not of my followers.
Kind of resistance you might meet up there.
We want to make sure that Your victory must be absolute. We wouldn't want anyone coming out and ruining this victorious day, would we?
He looks past you, looking upon the bloodshed as they continue to push the front of another wave of Minotaur and Membreth. He nods a little bit and says, "Very well. However, to gain access into the obelisk, we still need to offer a sacrifice." And then he looks out to all the dead bodies that are out there.
There's plenty of dead bodies over there.
Perhaps one that is alive.
I thought the two elephant bros were gonna go, let's sacrifice him, smile.
Was there not another secret entrance you knew of?
This is the secret entrance that I do know. With entry into the obelisk, an individual's life must be taken upon the altar. This will allow the platform to drop, gaining you access into the obelisk itself.
Okay, but like, what if we did just kill him? I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I think we should kill him now.
And he looks over at you and he says, what if we grab? And he looks over and he says, as he is kind of like looking at the plantation, he says, I'm assuming some farmers themselves should be hiding within the around the plantation, maybe around the Cataploss stables.
Is a Minotaur considered a humanoid or is it a monster?
Monstrosity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we tried to do a spell on one and it didn't work.
Just need to be sure.
Just he kind of like shoos you away and he's like, just grab one of the farmers. It doesn't matter at this point.
I'm gonna like kind of nod to Vulcan in a really kind of weird way, where Deborah isn't talking the way she normally would be.
Yes, Vulcan. This was the moment we've been waiting for.
And see if he gets it.
Oh. Vulcan's gonna walk up to the elder. And I'm gonna stab him. With my great
Roll an advantage on your sneak attack or on your surprise action.
This is happening.
Yes,
Well
it is.
done! And as he gets close enough. Great sword?
All right. Yep,
That's a
that
nat
hits.
20.
Yep, that hits.
That wasn't great muscle, so it was a nat 20. So it's a vulnerability stack, right?
It's a dirty 20. I don't think you got the critical hit.
Yeah, you didn't get a crit.
Oh, I didn't get a crit. True,
You got
true.
an 18.
I'll divine smite him. Fuck it, I'm just gonna hit. That's
Just
fine.
go all in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine he was just a baby this whole time, just
All right, so you go ahead and strike at the elder. The elder, as you just see a huge gash just cross and slash across his chest. Blood sprays upon you as he takes 31 points of damage. He looks at you surprised, curious as to why you're striking, and looks at everyone else at this point in time. What are the rest of you doing?
stabbing him. He just looks at all of us.
Yeah, he's seen. He's honestly at this point in time. I'm gonna roll. Would he be? Would he have the reflexes to be like, I'm being betrayed right now?
Could I go, oh my goodness, and then just charge forward and then also hit him with a sneak attack?
Yes, you can. I will say at this point in time, though, a second attack will make him realize that the entire party is turning on him. So if you would like to, yes. Okay, go ahead and also attack at it. This one will not be at an advantage as his guard is a bit up at this point as he's being attacked by someone with a great weapon.
Do I get my second attack, or is it just the one?
It's just the one for now.
Okay, that's fair.
I give a thumbs up as he looks at me.
If I do a gore attack, since I moved 10 feet, can I use my shield charge to knock him prone still? or do I have to attack with the shield? I don't know how it works.
I will allow a gore and a shield attack.
Okay.
Brett, I want to give you props because I literally don't know if this guy was going to betray us or not because he seems too dumb, but that's a nat 20.
That is a nat 20. That is correct. We're going to go ahead and roll a 1d20 plus there. The damage of the piercing is a 1d8. I will roll an additional 1d8 for 11 points of damage. Excellently done. You're able to do your shield attack at this point.
Yep.
Are you attacking? Are you doing an athletics to try and push him down, or are you actually doing an attack?
I'm using the shield charge to knock him prone.
Okay. Then that'll be opposing.
That, right?
Wait for the shield charge.
Yeah. It just said.
You still have to like try and push him back with
If
an
you push
athletics.
a creature, you can expend 1 charge to push that creature an additional 10 feet, knock you prone or both.
That is correct, but you still have to.
So I still have to make the push action?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Except now you literally push him back 15 feet and he falls on his ass.
I guess then my bonus action turns into my shield master thing, and then I shove him.
Okay. And we're doing an athletics check, correct? 3,
Yes.
6. Okay. You have to beat a 24 because I rolled an 18. With a 15, you try to push him back. But at this point, his 2 hooves stop him from being pushed back any forward. As he looks over at you, angered, and says, and he just looks over at you and he says, "I see. You have succumbed to the lust of power. Allow me to show you why I am the Grand Seer." Even though he's not the Grand Seer, in parentheses. At this point, I need everyone to roll their initiative as combat has now begun against the Seer. Let me go ahead and set everyone's token. Feel free to put yourself over into a blitz spot.
Big initiative from Vulcan.
I figured it out.
Clap, 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 clap. That's all right, dude. My initiative's lost because everyone else gets to set up, and then it's all planned. This is planned.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Surefour? I see you moving around.
I was just here. I was just making sure I was snapped.
He's just dancing, dude. He's just dancing.
He's just dancing. Okay, all right. Well, I mean, as long as you figure out one of those 4 spots that you were originally on, that's fine. Mock, I rolled your initiative because I was tired of waiting.
Oh, okay.
I'm just fucking around.
He rolled pretty good for you, dude.
Yeah.
I probably would have rolled worse.
The Grand Seer at that point stomps with both of his hooves as he holds out his hands, casting the incantations of the Hellscape. This Minotaur is not built on strength, but is built on magical fortitude. He may be a bit foggy in the mind, but do not take this as someone who is not threatening. As the combat against the Seer will commence next time on the Nova Hellscape. That ends today's session.
He must die.
It had no right going as well as it did.
Those rolls
too easy.
Those rolls were fucking
awesome.
Those rolls were fucking insane.
Dude, who knew those farmers were so fucking lit?
I guess that's the benefit of going out of the way before you go do the main quest first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get
You end up over leveled for the story quest.
Well, we had
Thanks for the gear, Seer.
Now you're dead.
Thanks for the AC, bitch. Stabs.
Die, fool.
You're dead now.
He's just like, we need to sacrifice. All of the party slow turns their head to look at him.
Yeah,
How convenient.
that was a great session. Did you guys enjoy yourself today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah.
Sometimes it's really fun to just like step back and like let the world building happen, you know?
let the rolls
Let the
happen.
chaos reign.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Brett, I don't know if you realize this, but you spent most of the episode fighting yourself, and
Yes.
we watched.
It's impressive to do.
And it was very
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. I was just eating chips.
Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes it be like that. Well, I'm glad you guys got some enjoyment out of that, because
Always, dude.
yeah.
It is always fun.
Yeah. That good job. Good speed run. Nova Hellscape.
Very
no.
good.
Kidding. But well, so depending on how things transpire, well, you got the Seer, who's actually going to be a boss fight. And then depending on if you do go into the obelisk, I think you guys might have 3 sessions left of the Hellscape.
What?
Yeah.
Before we become kings of the Hellscape,
Well, I mean,
or die.
I mean, shrug.
Going to
I don't know.
become God again.
At
I'm
least
gonna reabsorb myself into the Black Store and become a god.
I would say at least 3. Well, every season of a campaign, I always guesstimate about 6 to 10 sessions before the next story arc begins. So I mean, we're well on track because I mean that would lay you guys at like 8 sessions. But again, I have no idea what's gonna happen because you guys might do things and I don't like to set things in stone. But it might be 3 sessions and
All right,
then
here's
we'll
the
see.
plan, gang. We kill the Great Seer. We take over the Nova Hellscape. We get fat and enjoy life, and then we use the Black Star magics to channel ourselves to Io, where scared at the fact that we're hellish races, we fuck everyone else up, and then we take over Io too.
All right, clip it. Let's see
Easy.
if that happens. Clip it, chat.
Good luck with that.
And there it is.
There it is.
Us at level 5, the rest of Io unionized.
Next
Yes.
episode. Oh no, Strippin's dead.
Oh no. So
If you think these wheat fields are great, we know a whole planet where we can get more.
So next session, assuming you don't die by the seer, well, we'll level up to 6. Big pog. And
Yes.
yeah, at that point it just continues. And then we'll have to see what the aftermath is at that point in time. Jesus. Also there's 2 giant minotaurs that are hiding behind the
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a problem for later.
I love
Hopefully he doesn't
D&D.
call him.
I love D&D, but man, big sweat sometimes.
Dude, at level 6 I get Aura of Protection. That's busted.
Aura
That's
protection is
good.
busted. Yeah, Whoops knows.
It is busted.
Yeah, Whoops knows.
More like it's bussin'.
Oh man.
Busted.
No mainframe tomorrow. No mainframe tomorrow because my boy Octo, he's got stuff going on.
We
So
can't become as gods
Voice
yet.
actor boy.
Sag, delaying the inevitable.
Delaying us becoming gods. How dare?
you guys are fighting like the 3 wise ones, Millicrums. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I was very excited about mainframe because that was some old school lore that was in the offline campaigns. I don't know if Strippin remembers the wise ones. Strippin, you remember fighting Gaspar before you fought the first Void Star? Like way in the beginning. Yeah, so mainframe learned some lore about who the 3 wise ones, like what the 3 wise ones' purpose was, and are now about to fight simulacrums of all 3 of them. So that's gonna be epic.
Oh.
I'm just waiting for Brett to inevitably give me a 3rd Void Star fight.
Yeah, Summer
Where's my
fought,
3rd one?
Yeah,
Hey,
Summer
you want to hear
fought.
something cool, Brett?
Hmm.
Muriel still has Gaspar's stuff
Yes.
in her inventory.
Yes, she does.
No, it's a weapon. Yeah, I think she
Yeah,
has a martial weapon.
Yeah, she does, and she is now somewhere in Io for someone to fucking claim.
Someone in Io.
Oh
evil.
my
Someone in
god!
Io turned evil.
Where's
with
she
what,
at, dude? I got 3 characters. I'll
With
hunt her ass down.
Staff.
dude? You gotta get in with Patches, so Patches can send you over there, can set and fight.
Yeah, you gotta find a zombie rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
Oh, yeah.
has
Is
to
she
go
in?
you
Is she
down
in the
off of
Altered
rock
City
and
or?
laugh.
He is.
She's in Altered City. Okay.
Is she still in the Altered City?
Yeah.
Oh, well then, yeah, she will still be there. Like hiding in like the fucking sewers of the Altered City, I suppose. Holy shit!
I think she just decided to use one of the houses for a bit.
Perfect. Well, as long as it's
Please
not.
not
Come back.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not the one house everybody's trying to live in.
No, she likes just being where people aren't, and this
Yeah,
is a city
perfect.
devoid of people, so it's like win-win.
Well, so I don't know if you've heard about this, but my God, yeah, poor G-Mart. He's like, "This is my house," says Qua, and I kid you not, every time a party goes to the Altered City, it is just like, I'm like, you can choose any of these houses to make your party's home. They always go to Qua's house. And I'm like, that door is locked and being occupied. And every party has so far been like, I'm breaking in this house. I am claiming this house for myself. And I'm just like, oh my God, G-Mart. But G-Mart is just getting that poor house. Holy shit.
No, wait till Spire gets there. Wait till Spire gets there. I can guarantee you somebody's gonna do a narc group too.
Yeah, Spire will eventually get to the Ultra City. Just not right away.
Just find the
We're busy.
creepiest part of the city. That's where.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys can order like so when it comes to so there is essentially 8 fallen heroes which are now spread across the world of Io as like big super bosses. Parties need to essentially gather with people that are associated with these fallen heroes, with these super bosses, for these side like big boss fight missions. So yeah, I mean, all you gotta do is like someone needs to be like, let's form a group to try and liberate Muriel, and then you just bring patches to the fight and get it done with it. So absolutely. We have a piece of fan art by Scrumbleton today. Let me go ahead and get that. It was a lovely sketching. And today, there it is. Perfect. Boom. Here is Hellrat. I love
Hellrat.
I love this picture. This is so cute. I love
His
the
puppy.
I love the Minotaur. I also love the picture of the Hell Rat. Thank you so much, Scrubbleton, for all this. That's awesome. Any face. Oh,
Yeah, baby.
so good.
We're like little chess pieces.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Baby. Congratulations, I can now turn into a weird rat.
Oh my God, you can at like 4 hit points.
Yes, I will sneak everywhere.
Oh my God, the Yokian, I think is what I called it. Let me go ahead and Yokian. Oop. Notes have been entered. All right, guys. Well, we will continue with Hellscape next Monday. Sound good with you guys?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys again.
Sure.
Appreciate you all very much. I'll see y'all next week.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Bye. All right. Well, boom. What'd you guys think? Chat, did you have fun? Was it a good sesh? That was insane. I love D&D. I love D&D. I love just letting the dice dictate what the fuck is about to happen. Man, those numbers were insane, dude. Did you see those numbers? Did you all see those numbers? Fucking insane, my dudes. Absolutely insane. So the Seer's gonna be fought. Maybe an obelisk invasion. Maybe a finale. Party decides. Obviously, it all depends on the party and what they want to do. But yeah, Brett, you had some great rolls for their plan to work. I mean, man, those rolls were... The Elder did not roll under an 18 on all of his persuasion checks. Good shit. Guys, if you'd like to go ahead and support the World of Io campaign series, please join our Patreon. You can donate as little as $3 with a variety of tiers, including MP3s of the campaigns, maps of the that you see in the game itself, as well as my own very own DM notes. I'm soon going to start a monthly talk show where I answer questions that people ask in the Game Master tier, and have a bit of a self-discussion, which I'm still debating on what tier the MP3 is going to be at, but I do know that individuals of the Game Master tier are able to ask questions that I will be able to answer for this talk show. Might have some guests, might not. I don't know. It's an open thing, but essentially it's going to be called the DM's discussion, and it's a great way to talk about my thought process, how I work on games, my idea of game theory, all sorts of stuff. That'll be coming on the Patreon soon. All of the session MP3s have been caught up as well. So go head on over there, support if you can. The Patreon is one of the main reasons why I'm able to do this for a living. Do D&D for a living. I hope you guys had fun, and if you enjoyed that, please consider supporting the Patreon today. Head on over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/worldofio. If this is your first IO campaign that you've seen, welcome. All the sessions are currently in World of IO in a week. They're all a week behind on the channel, but you can go ahead and catch up on the Nova Hellscape and all other campaigns that have been done and created in the World of IO. Join the discussion in the community, the IO Discord, right over there. Head on over to the IO Discord, check it out. We've got a rules lawyer section, so if you see that I did something wrong, boom, bang, there it is. We also have a fan art section. We have people trying to form D&D groups. Join the community, and I'm there as well. And I have a lot of fun with it. We have a great community over there, so consider checking that. And I don't know, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/BrettUltimus. I don't have a Twitter link because all my commands are broken. Badge. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We do not have mainframe tomorrow. I don't know if I'm streaming tomorrow. I've got some stuff I have to do. I may or may not stream. I am uncertain, but I'm gonna go ahead and see what the heck happens. Still got some house stuff I'm taking care of. So yeah, we'll play it by ear. May or may not be streaming tomorrow. Next D&D campaign is Wednesday at 8 p.m. EST. Goblins of Io is coming back. Are they gonna continue their storyline? Who the fuck knows? That's the thing about goblins. They just do what they want. They just do whatever the fuck they want. It's a lot of fun. Please watch Goblins. It's a great time. This week's schedule includes Goblins of Io at 8 p.m. EST this Wednesday. This Thursday is Spire of Euclid at 7 p.m. EST. This Saturday, The Misdemeanor at 4 p.m. EST. New campaign being announced this Friday. I'll be announcing it on the Discord first. So follow the Discord. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.